Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the episode of Wayne's World of Science and Technology. Today we're going to talk about Russian fuel problems, but first we're going to talk about my sound quality. You may notice that some of my videos have relatively good sound quality, other ones don't. And part of this is the way I've been working. Another part is the fact that I'm effectively deaf. So I'm going to be changing the way I'm working so the sound is better in future on all the videos. Now, onto the fuel issue. As I mentioned yesterday in a short, the Russian propaganda outlets are doing their best to find a gas station that has fuel and then send somebody there to get filled up so that it looks like there aren't any problems. Actually, a chap that I'm personally acquainted with, who lives in Russia, was involved in one of those films. And I will be probably taking a look at that one later. But anyway, the point is that you're getting two sets of information. You're getting the propagandist information, which, hey, look, no problems here. See, go away. And you're getting the evaluation from military and intelligence assets, which are, oh, never mind NASA firms data, which are saying there are some really interesting problems. Now, the question is, who do you trust? Obviously, firms could be hacked and somebody could potentially add stuff to it. So it looks like there's a fire when there isn't. That's always a possibility. I consider it rather unlikely. NASA isn't totally stupid. I would think they have some minimal level of security on it, and probably more than a minimal level, because they can't afford to lose the data. They spent so much getting it, there's no way they can afford to lose it. Then, so you got a choice. You're really, sorry, I started off on going on another track of thought. You have basically an issue. Do you believe outside sources or do you believe Russian sources? No. The outside sources could conceivably be lying. And sorry for looking away from the screen for a moment. I'm crossing a street. The inside sources, of course, could be lying. I have my own set of sources, which are, as far as I'm concerned, pretty damn reliable. They've generally given me pretty good information in the past, and they say it's very real. And no, I'm not going to tell you what all of them are, because some of them are very sub rosa and involve contact with people who probably shouldn't be talking to me. And for that matter, they don't know they're talking to me. We say, hopefully you don't know they're talking to me, because I have a variety of identities that I use online. Yeah, Wayne Breen is one of them, and Wayne's World of Science and Technology, you know, my name and my channel name. But I have other names, a lot of them. The chance of anybody finding them all is pretty low. They'd have to get into my system. And even then it wouldn't do them a lot of good because, well, some of it's only in my head. Hopefully I don't forget it. On the other hand, it may not matter if I forget it or if a truck runs over me, but, you know, let's just talk. So my on-the-ground sources say that things are basically, trying to think of a word that doesn't involve swearing. How about horrible? If you want to go to work, you're in deep trouble. You can't buy gasoline. If you want to go shopping, you're in deep trouble. You can't buy gasoline or diesel for that matter. You know, fuel has become extremely rare. Russia is now, according to information that has come out from a variety of sources, buying fuel from Belarus and China. That is, buying refined fuel because they don't have enough. This is something that most people thought they'd never see. I mean, it was always a possibility. Don't get me wrong. There's always a possibility that somebody will do something like that, but nobody knew that Ukraine was actually going to take this action. It's, well, I thought myself that they would spend more time hitting the close-up stuff, but hitting the long-range stuff actually works better in a lot of ways because it tangles up more logistics. So, I I predicted a while back that the fighting wouldn't stop until the middle of next summer at the earliest. That was based on loss rate data. I'm now not so sure that Russia can last that long. At least not and be able to fight effectively. Russians, a lot of people put down Russian fighting. Russians are damn good fighters. Understand this. They're tough bastards. They will fight. The problem is they're poorly trained. And when you got somebody who's really tough, who's poorly trained, they have a tendency to do silly things. If you're wondering how I know about this, damn near every problem Russia has, Canada also has in spades. We're like them, pretty damn big. We are a country that cannot defend its airspace because there aren't enough air defense systems in the entire freaking world to defend it. We have long supply lines because, well, some of them go all the way across the bloody continent from one side to the other. So, I probably know a bit more about the Russian situation than most people just because I'm in a country that has a lot of the same problems. Now, the Russian problems in ours aren't the same, of course, but, you know, there's enough parallel that I can make the connections. Now, what's going to happen to Russia without the fuel? Well, they're going to start having a lot of trouble moving stuff. Never mind building it at all. The power outages caused by the hits on the power plants, the loss of natural gas output and diesel and gasoline output is going to start strangling the Russian economy. Now, they can adjust and they will adjust. There's a lot of things you can do to conserve fuel. I mean, well, okay, you guys probably don't, but I remember the old days when carpooling was a thing during the first oil crisis. And this means that they will be able to hang on for quite a while. The question is how long? And it's at the point right now where I am totally unable to predict this because there's been so many different hits, and I'm not even sure I've kept track of them. Well, actually, I'm quite certain I haven't kept track of them all because there's been so many. Quite frankly, I have to admit to really wanting to see what some of the intelligence agencies honestly think on this. Because my own projections are that this is the worst crisis that Russia as a nation has ever faced, going back to about the 1600s. This is far worse than what happened during the breakup of the Soviet Union. This is far worse than what happened during the revolution in 1917. Because in 1917, they could operate off of coal and wood. They can't now. There are a lot of options that we got rid of by switching to more modern types of fuels and more modern types of power. Going back to the old ones is damn near impossible. Well, I say damn near impossible. Yeah, you can do it, but it's going to take time. 4 or 5 years, minimum. They don't have that long. Anyways, that's it for now, folks. Like, share, subscribe, and all that guff if you got something out of it, and have a good day.